Hey best friend, this is Kimya Motley. I am the CEO of Haven of Light International, but I'm also a mommy, I'm an author, I'm an advocate, and I'm a survivor of gun violence due to domestic violence. And I want to talk to you this afternoon about how to show up for your family and friends when they are in the middle of an abusive or toxic relationship, okay? How to intervene, because everything you say and do during this time is critical. But before I begin, I want to issue a trigger warning, okay? So that means I could say something in the midst of this video that could trigger negative memories from the past. So if that happens, I want you to inbox me, okay? So that, or email me, and I can help you deal with that situation. Because the purpose of my videos are to help, is not to hurt, and I don't want to do anything that could cause problems for you later, okay? So number 2, when you hear me in this video talk about a victim, I'm going to be talking about a female. When you hear me talk about perpetrator, I'm going to be talking about a male. Just know abuse can happen in same-sex relationships. It can also happen with a female perpetrator and a male victim, but for the purpose of this video, female is victim, male is perpetrator, okay? All right, so let's jump right in. Number 1, in the midst of all of this stuff that's going on today, especially with coronavirus, we're seeing a huge increase in the number of domestic violence calls that we're receiving. We're especially receiving calls that are with violence that is escalating in ways that I personally have not seen. So it's quite possible that you could have friends or family members reach out to you during this time, okay? So if that happens, I need you to, number 1, remain calm. Now, I know that that might be difficult for you to do because you have a friend or family member that's saying, hey, I'm being hurt, but I need you to remain calm. And I need you to listen to them. Victims need to be heard, and they need to be believed. They need you to listen to understand them, not listen to judge them, not listen to respond to them. Listen to understand them, okay? And then I want you to say, I care about your safety. Whatever they've told you, I want you to simply say, I care about your safety. I love you. You know, I'm concerned for your safety. What you're doing when you say that is you're addressing the issue, and I'm going to move to that in my next step. You want to address the behavior specifically. So you may say, you know, listen, you told me that he punched you in your mouth when you said something he didn't like. You could say, you know, hey, you told me that he forced you to have sex. So you're naming the behavior. I don't want you to personally attack the perpetrator saying, girl, he's no good for you, you know, things like that. Because for whatever reason, when you do that, that causes the victim to want to cling to him and go like almost in protective mode. We don't have time to talk about why they do that. In this video, we'll address that at another time, okay? But it happens, so I don't want you to do it. I just want you to address the behavior. And whatever you do, you don't want to be judgy. Don't tell her, why don't you just leave? Okay, let me tell you why. If she leaves without a safety plan, that could be the most dangerous time for her. When women are killed or seriously injured, it's more than likely because she told him she was going to leave, he thinks she's going to leave, or it happens within 2 years of her leaving. So we don't want to tell them to leave without them getting a safety plan. So that's number 1. Do not ask her, why don't you just leave? And don't say things like, girl, if that were me, I would never let a man put his hands on me. I promise you, if you do those 2 things, you're going to push her away from you instead of having her come to you. And you want her to feel comfortable coming to you with these problems, okay? So we don't want to do that. All right? So the next thing I want you to know is I want you to give her empowering statements. Like, the perpetrator works so hard to take away her power, to take away her voice. So you want to do things like ask her, well, when she tells you what happened, say, well, what do you want to do? Ask her what she wants to do, because sometimes, and this is hard, okay, hear me, this is hard. Sometimes she doesn't want to leave. Sometimes she wants to still be with him. Okay, so if that happens, I need you to be prepared and simply say, you know what, even though I don't necessarily agree with your choice, girl, I love you. I support you. I got your back no matter what, because you want her to know she's got a safe space with you. Okay? Next thing, don't tell everybody her business. I don't care if you have mutual friends. I don't want you calling her mama, her grandma, her best friend from 5th grade. If she has not given you permission to tell, do not tell it. You do not want to breach her confidentiality, because if you do that, then she may not ever feel comfortable coming back to you. Okay? And then I want you to connect them to resources. The domestic violence hotline has a number, 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233. You can have her call that number and speak with someone, because they need to speak with an advocate, especially if they say they want to leave, they want to go. Girl, I'm done with him. They don't need to do that without a safety plan. I cannot reiterate that enough. All right? I want to give you a warning here too. And she says she doesn't want to leave because, you know what? Sometimes research shows that victims leave on average and 7 times. They leave and come back, leave and come back 7 times before they decide to leave for good. And I know that could be an emotional roller coaster for you, but I need you to know that more than anything, she just needs your shoulder, she needs your ear, she needs you to be her cheerleader and her support, okay? All right, so last thing before I end this video with you, don't intervene directly. If she calls you and gives you the code word, if she texts you and says, hey, I'm in danger, do not go over there. Do not get in the middle of the situation. That can be very dangerous for you. You could end up hurt. You could end up dead. So I want you to simply dial 911, have the police go over there. And still, when that's all over, you're her support, you're her cheerleader, you're her advocate. But do not intervene. I can't reiterate that enough. So you want to reach out to me. I'm on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, YouTube. You want to see more videos on me? Go on over to YouTube and subscribe. Almost all the videos I've ever done are over there. So go over there. And if you need to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on any of those social media platforms. But you can also email me, Kimya at havenoflightint.org. Okay? So remember, you can rebuild your life after any tragedy, after any toxic relationship, and you can help other people rebuild their lives too. One day at a time, and with God by your side. Until next time, smooches.